Hello dear fellow learners, this is Suzair Fatmi welcoming you to the video lecture sessions of ACCA paper Corporate and Business Law, commonly known as paper LW, formerly known as paper F4. This paper comes in various variants, so you can choose according to the country of your preference. What I will be discussing in these videos will be English variant. Hear me again. I will be discussing the English variant of our paper because commonly people chooses English variant. So in this particular video, I will be introducing you with the course. We will be looking at the course structure, the exam format, and most importantly those books which you can use to prepare for the exam. So let's get into the detail. So let's look at the course structure. As you can see, there are total 7 topics. In comparison with other skills papers, it is a quite short course and also an easy one. Out of these 7 topics, 2 of them are most important. Number 1 is contract law and number 2 is company law. And company law is, on the other hand, the most lengthy area of your course, as it covers almost 70% of the whole paper. So expect more questions from this area in your exam. So let's get to know each topic a little bit more. In contract law, we will be discussing the law behind dealing. What happens when two parties deal? How a deal forms? What are the terms and conditions that are settled in a deal, and what happens if one of the party backs out or breaches any term or breaches the whole contract? What options do they have? Can they go court? Can they challenge the contract in the court of law? Yes, they can. What they can demand? What the judge will have to offer to any party who is injured? All these questions will be answered in the contract law. Now, if we turn to company law, this area discusses the life of a company. In UK, how a company is formed, how many types of companies you can form, majorly private limited company, public limited company. What are the rights and duties of shareholders? What are the rights and duties of directors? How directors are appointed? How an auditor is appointed? How a company can issue shares? How a company can issue debentures? How a company can take out the loan securing on different assets? And most importantly, what is the role of a liquidator, who is the grim reaper, or you can say the angel of death of companies? What happens when a liquidator liquidates a company? How the assets are converted into cash? How those proceeds are shared among the creditors of the company? And most importantly, we will cover those actions on the part of directors which can be called as crimes: bribery, money laundering, insider dealing, fraudulent trading, wrongful trading. So we will learn all about this in this area, that is company law. Moving on further, we will look at the relationship of partners in a partnership, which is a legal status of doing a business. How a partnership forms, how many types of partnership you can form in the UK, how many types of partners are there, and most importantly, what are the authorities of partners while dealing for the firm. So we will look upon all that knowledge in our partnership law, and moving on further, we will look upon the agency law. We will study who is an agent, which is simply a person who deals on the behalf of another party. What is the authority of an agent? What are the rights and duties of an agent? What is the status of liability of an agent between the contract of two parties? So moving on further, we will look upon employment law, which magnifies the relationship between employer and employee. How an employee is appointed, what are the duties of an employer towards employee, what are the duties of an employee towards employer, how an employer can fire an employee, how he cannot fire an employee? What are the rights of employee if he or she has been wrongfully or unfairly dismissed? What is redundancy? How you can make an employee redundant? All these questions will be answered in the employment law. Then we will move on to the law of torts. Tort, which is a word derived from tortious acts, is considered as a civil wrong in UK law other than crime. There are many types of torts. Now the type on which we will be focusing on in our course is known as personal and professional negligence. When a person acts in a negligent way and that act results in an injury to another person, what option that another person have against that person who committed a tort of negligence. And we will see how professionals need to be very careful and diligent, and they have to conduct their acts or duties with the presence of mind. As our final topic, we will be looking at English legal system. And in this area, we will cover a general history of development of law in the UK and how many bodies are involved in lawmaking. Number one is courts and number two is the parliament. Now, how many types of courts are there? How many types of criminal courts are there? How many civil courts are there? What is the hierarchy of the court? Which one of them is junior? Which one of them is senior? And we will also look upon the structure of UK Parliament. How many components of Parliament are there? How a bill is presented? How it is built up as an act? What is the role of king or a queen in the UK? And also we will cover Human Rights Act and look upon the general rights that law is offering to the citizens. So this is all about your course structure, and now let's move on to the exam format. As you can see, your exam is computer based and it is not a session based CB, it is on demand. Like your earlier papers, BT, MA or FA, it is an on demand CB paper. Examiner allows you 2 hours to complete your paper, and believe me, time is not an issue for us. We have ample of time to solve 50 questions. There is no calculation. The whole paper is theory based. So just we have to read the question carefully, obviously, read the answer statements and select the proper or appropriate answer. There will be no box, there will be no fill in the blanks, there will be no writing in the paper. We do not have to describe anything, we do not have to state anything, we do not have to enter any name of any term or a definition. We just have to simply pick the correct answer from the list. So the total marks will be 100 and 50% considered as the passing criteria. Your exam will be divided among 2 sections, section A and section B. Section A will contain objective test questions, OTQs. 25 of those questions will bear 2 marks and 20 of them will bear 1 mark each. Then there will be section B, and it contains MTQs, multiple task questions, in which you will be given a common data and 3 requirements of 2 marks each will derive from that particular data. So there will be 5 of such questions bearing 6 marks each. So that's a very simple exam format. Now let's look upon the study material that you can use. So as you know, there are 2 popular publishers when it comes to ACCA. Number one is BPP and the other one is Kaplan Publisher. So if you are going for a study text, I will suggest you get any one which suits you better, which is more easy for you to read. If you are comfortable with Kaplan, go with Kaplan. If you are comfortable with BPP, then choose BPP. Now you may have known this already, that there is one more type of book, which is exam kit or revision kit, in which there are exam style questions for your exam practice. So in my opinion, both kits, I mean the kits of both publishers, BPP and Kaplan, are needed, and you have to solve them 100%. So now let's wind up this session. We will meet again in another video, and we will start from the contract law. Thank you very much. Take care. God bless you.